A major day of activism across the country as simultaneous rallies were held calling to defund the police. American Natividad at Christie Pitts, where the second of two marches in the city today began. Protesters left just a short while ago, and now hundreds are headed to Bay and College in downtown Toronto. They're expected to end up at Toronto Police Headquarters. Now, both of the marches held today were organized by local BIPOC advocacy groups. And earlier today, we were in the north end of the city where the first peaceful march took place.
We're here to fight against police brutality and violence. We're here in support especially of Regis Kaczynski-Paquette. We're here especially to show the people that there's a safer way.
The Defund the Police movement calls for portions of the typically large police budgets to be reallocated to social programs and services. But Toronto's police board recently greenlit the purchase of body cameras, which will come at a cost of roughly $50 million over 10 years, in addition to their billion-dollar budget. While the board felt it would increase police accountability, many who support the defunding movement feel that is the wrong move.
We just put a whole bunch of money back into policing when we're talking about smaller class sizes, and there's no money for that. That makes literally no sense. We want smaller class sizes. We want to put money back into education. We've been defunding education for years, defunding healthcare for years. And these are the frontline workers who've been getting us through this pandemic.
Similar rallies were held in other major cities, including Ottawa and Calgary. In Montreal, protesters toppled a statue of John A. Macdonald. The marches come on the heels of the police shooting of Jacob Blake south of the border in Kenosha, Wisconsin. The 29-year-old was shot several times in the back by a police officer, the encounter leaving him paralyzed.
It never stops. You're always seeing new injustices, new things happening. It's really hard mentally. It takes a lot out of you, and it takes a lot for you to do your natural everyday stuff with this stuff in the back of your mind.
Demonstrators here at home say the issue of police accountability is not a problem unique to the U.S., citing the recent ruling of no criminal liability in the death of Regis Kaczynski-Paquette.
The recent happenings with the SIU and Regis Kaczynski-Paquette, that there's no accountability for these police officers that are, committing atrocities.
And we're seeing the same thing happen again and again and again, and we're pretending like it's new. We're pretending like we've never heard of it before.
It takes the people who didn't really believe us at first, who are prepared to come and fight us on it, to go back and to do the homework, to look at the information, to look at the history, and to be like, wow, maybe they have a point. Maybe there's some reasoning behind it. Just think, if everybody was to care just this much more, not even a lot, this is like 2 minutes, just this much more, you would see that much of a difference.
Now, as I mentioned, hundreds of protesters are currently on their way to Bay and College, and they are expected to end up right in front of Toronto Police Headquarters. Last month, the Toronto Police Services Board actually held town halls on police reform over several days via video conference, but many of the demonstrators we spoke to today feel that that just wasn't enough. What they want to see is concrete action, and the first thing on their list of demands is an immediate 50% reduction in Toronto Police's $1.2 billion budget.